Hi, beautiful people. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had an amazing and relaxing weekend and are doing well. The nerve of Gypsy Rose, who refused to acknowledge her mother on Mother's Day or birthday, yet today, the day that marks the day Claudinia Dee Dee Petrie Blanchard was unalived 10 years ago. Now, let's remember one thing. Gypsy manipulated and groomed an innocent young man. And yes, Nicholas was innocent. She found him on a dating site, and all he was doing was looking for love. And she took advantage of his innocence and used him to kill her mother. Period. Nevertheless, Gypsy has the nerve to acknowledge her mother on this day, the day that she had her mother murdered. Just to reinforce her victimhood, she made this post. One day, two meanings. 1 year ago, we saw Aurora for the first time in the sonogram, and my heart has never been the same. She is my light, my joy, my greatest blessing. But today also marks 10 years since the death of my mother, a woman known not for love, but for the abuse she inflicted on me. That pain shaped my life in ways that led to tragic choices, consequences, and years we both can never get back. I won't pretend she was a good person, and I won't pretend I've been perfect either. But Aurora, she represents a new beginning, a chance to break every cycle, a chance to raise someone with love, truth, and freedom. A chance to give her a life better than what I had and better than what my past choices. I may carry the past, but she carries my future. And I pray that who she becomes will be greater than who I was and greater than the woman who came before me. Hashtag Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Hashtag Dee Dee Blanchard. Hashtag Breaking Cycles. Hashtag 10 years later. Hashtag Healing and Hope. Hashtag First Sonogram. Hashtag Love Without Chains. Today, when people talk about Dee Dee, they speak about how she had a past of stealing, but they also speak about what a good person she was, what a good heart she had. She would give the shirt off her back for the next person. When you look back at pictures or home videos of Dee Dee and Gypsy, all I personally see is a mother who did her best for a child, wanted the best for a child. But today, all we have from her daughter that she sacrificed her life for, the one who plotted and planned her mother's murder and continues to say how evil her mother was. We will never hear Dee Dee's side of the story because Gypsy made sure she silenced her voice forever, using an autistic man to kill her mother. Till this day, as you heard and can see, she continues to villainize her mother, to make herself feel better and to justify what she did to her mother and gain sympathy from the public. Dee Dee was the one and only person that loved Gypsy, and in my opinion, that knew that she had problems both mentally and medically, and she made it her mission to find the problem, which one of them was Gypsy's microdeletion. The tragic choice Gypsy made wasn't because of the pain, it was because she wanted things done her way and probably could not accept that her mother couldn't do it anymore. And the spoiled brat that she is refused to accept that. All the good times were coming to an end, and she didn't want it to end. So she thought she could do it on her own, and that is when she put her plan in motion and executed her plan by using Nicholas Godejohn. Let's not forget what the sheriff said at the press conference in 2015. He said, and I quote, "Things are not always as they appear," end quote. Dee Dee and Gypsy were being investigated for fraud at the time of Dee Dee's murder. Dee Dee was a good person, in my opinion. She was like any other human being. She had fault. And she did what she needed to do to be with her child 24/7, to take care of her child, because she knew that Gypsy was not normal. And as records show, medical records show, not one procedure that Gypsy had was unnecessary. Dee Dee did not have a child to use the child for her own selfish gain, unlike Gypsy Rose, that made it her mission to have a child who she is now using that child for her own selfish gain, using an innocent baby to try and make herself look like a changed and decent person, which Gypsy will never be. It is not Aurora's responsibility to break the cycle. It is Gypsy's responsibility alone. And all she is doing is repeating the cycle. Dee Dee's family, including Rod and Christy, knew the wrong that Dee Dee was doing, and no one intervened. Gypsy is doing the same thing, and no one is intervening either. They are all enabling her. When she refuses to change, you cannot raise a child when you have not healed yourself. Gypsy cannot raise Aurora and try give her a better life than what she says she had, when Gypsy is using the same tactics as she was raised with. Gypsy has not healed herself or learned what is better than her past bad choices. And being, as she says, having freedom for the first time in her entire life since leaving prison 18 months ago is not nearly enough time or even scratches the surface for her to know or learn what is better than her past bad choices. It's not baby Aurora's responsibility or burden to carry anyone's future than her own, but quite clearly she is going to be burdened with her own mother's trauma and bad choices. Gypsy is worse than her mother. She made a conscious decision to bring a child into this world knowing who she is and what she has done, and also knowing that she has not done anything to change herself. Instead, she chose to now use an innocent child, a baby, to make herself look like someone she will never be. Gypsy will never be a good mother or a good person until she decides to want that for herself, by healing herself privately, out of the public eye, and by taking her child out of the public eye completely and not using her for own selfish gain and for content. Dee Dee sacrificed her own life for what was best for her child. She even let herself go, and Gypsy is doing the total opposite. Shame on everyone that surrounds and supports Gypsy Rose for enabling her, but most importantly, shame on you, Ken, for being a father of an innocent baby and allowing your baby to be used for content and to be used to make an awful person like her mother look like a good mother, when you know what an awful human being she is, knowing what she does and has done and what she is capable of. You are supposed to be protecting your child and not allowing her to be used and exploited. Shame on you. Take the blinders off, if not for yourself, but for your child. Children are to be protected, not exploited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Have a wonderful rest of your day and week. Please be safe out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload. Again, please be safe out there. Be kind to one another and don't forget to make good memories. Bye guys.